All right, so let's get this party started. I'm really excited to have everybody here. This is the Referral Mastermind Call, our first one, and the title is Double Your Referral Closings in 90 Days, Why It Will Work. I'm going to pull up some slides so I can follow along and make sure I get you the best material. Let's go ahead and get that done. And so you should be able to see my slides right now. And hopefully my full presentation. If not, I'm at least going to give you the material and hopefully you can hear me. So again, this is the Referral Mastermind Call, double your referral closings in 90 days, why it will work. So the big question we have here is, can a real estate agent double their referrals in 90 days? That's the question we're going to answer in this session. And here's a little bit of an intro. So again, welcome to the Mastermind Call. I'm Mike Cerrone. I'm your host, and I'm real excited to chat with you today. The format for this call is pretty simple. So at the beginning, I'm going to share a new referral idea with you or a concept for a few minutes. And then we're going to open up for some Q&A, comments, brainstorming, some traditional masterminding. So be sure to make your comments over in the comment section, the chat box, so that we can refer to those. So you can go ahead and put those in at any time as we're walking through this session. And it could be on any topic as far as real estate referrals from your past clients and sphere of influence. So it could be about what we're talking about today, or any idea that you have or you would like us to kind of brainstorm and talk about. All right, so here we're going to start off with the Inspirational Minute. And the Inspirational Minute, what we do is a quick story that answers the question, do referral-based practices really work? Some people still have that question in their mind, and so I want to give you a quick inspirational thought here. And so we're going to talk about an inspirational agent. And today we're going to talk about Desi Sowers. Desi is a solo agent. She dropped out of college after her first semester, and she spent the next 10 years cleaning houses. So not exactly the background you would think of to become an amazing real estate agent, but it worked very well for her. Desi raised two sons. One had special needs, and it quickly became apparent that she would need to take care of her son for the rest of her life. So she was motivated to make more money and savings. And so she got her license and she jumped into real estate and she ramped up and she built up quite an amazing practice. In fact, Desi sold 78 homes in 1 year with $460,000 in GCI as a solo agent. And the big key there for us is that the number one source of business for her was her PCSOI, her past clients and sphere of influence. Again, that's a term I'm going to use, PCSOI, past clients and sphere of influence. Referrals, repeating referrals is 80% of her business. So basically that year she closed 62 referral closings, or 5 a month, right? As a solo agent, pretty impressive. So does this work? Absolutely, it does. Referral-based practices do work. And if you want to hear Desi's full story, luckily we were able to get her to do a success call with us, and it's podcast number 202. So if you go to mastermindagent.com, you can listen to her podcast. Just go ahead and look at the search feature and type in Desi, and you're going to find it. It's a really awesome call. All right, so let's get back to our hot topic of the day. The hot topic of the day is, can a real estate agent double their referral closings in 90 days? So if you're closing 1 referral each month, then we're talking about closing 2 referrals each month, right? If you're closing 2 referrals a month, we're talking about, can you get that up to 4 referral closings per month? And you get that idea. We're talking about actually doubling what you're doing. And basically, we're going to try to do it with just what you already have in front of you. And you'll understand what I mean by that as we move along. And I believe, by the way, the answer to that question, can you double your referral business, is yes. For most people, it is absolutely yes. And here's why. We're going to get into the details and the nitty gritty, and hang in there with me because we're getting to a really great punchline at the end. All right. So first of all, I've done a 10-year study. For the last 10 years, I've been interviewing and masterminding with the top real estate agents around the country and even outside the borders. Solo agent, I've been talking to solo agents who close 40, 60, 80, 100 transactions or more per year. Pretty incredible. Also, team leaders who are running teams that are closing up to 100, 200, 300, 500, even 1,000 homes each year. So I've been taking a lot of notes from these folks. These are very smart people, very productive people. And I've been taking notes to see what they're doing and looking for patterns and trends that we can take and share with you. Here's a couple of things that I've learned. Actually, one of the big concepts. So R&R, repeat and referral, equals the majority of their closings. Again, repeat and referral equals the majority of their closings. So for top solo agents, the number one source of business is repeat and referrals from PCSOI. It's typically accounting for 70 to 90% of their closed business. I asked them to do surveys before we get on our calls, and I have all these statistics. It's pretty amazing stuff. For top teams, the number one source of business is PCSOI. You bet. Repeat and referrals, it's typically accounting for 40 to 60% of their business. It's definitely their number one source, and then they may have one or two more sources that are filling up the gaps. But this always is their number one source. In over 200 interviews I've done, in fact, more than that now, that's what keeps popping out. So you should definitely keep focusing on that. So if you want to be a top agent or just double your closings, focus on your PCSOI. Now, you may be asking yourself a question, Mike, what about other lead sources? Mike, are you saying to ignore other sources of business like open houses, internet leads, FSBOs, expireds, geographic farming, Zillow, social media? Well, the answer is no. Don't ignore it. Continue to do what works, right? Continue to do what's generating leads and bringing them in. What I'm talking about is maybe a change in your attitude about it or your focus. So this is what I am saying. I'm saying that repeat and referrals from your PCSOI should be the foundation of your business. You should spend 80% of your time on referrals. Now, the other sources of leads that are coming in, they have a single purpose. Don't lose track of this. The single purpose of these other sources of business is to fill your database of past clients. Okay, fill up that database of past clients, because the PCSOI database is your future. In fact, it's the most valuable thing that you own. If you had all your information, you're sitting in your office and a rainstorm came and it flooded the office, the one thing that you would want to have left at the end of that, if you only could keep one thing, would be your database, because you could rebuild with that PCSOI database and rebuild quite quickly. All right, so you want to plant it, you want to nurture it, you want to harvest it. This PCSOI, it's the key to your future success. Now, here's the big discovery that I found, right? We're getting to the punchline. I've done more research, and for the last year, I've been talking with agents inside the Mastermind Agent Network. Typically, I've been talking to solo agents who are closing 5 transactions a year, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 closings a year. Okay, so it's a pretty good swath of agents. And many have formal or informal databases of PCSOI. Quite a few don't. Many do. Most agents get repeat and referrals, whether they're focusing on it and it's official, it's formal, or it's informal. That's where the number one source for most of them is. But some are better than others at doing this repeat and referral business. Here are some of the results that I found. Here's where it's getting pretty interesting. This is the 5, 10, 20 rule. So I really want you to focus here on this 5, 10, 20, because this is the way you could potentially double your business, all right? Agents who have a database of PCSOI and are making an effort to get referrals, okay, so you have a database, you're making an effort to get referrals, they've basically been falling into 3 categories as I've been talking with them. Number one, these are agents with a basic or sporadic annual referral program. So they're doing a little bit of work. They're not necessarily consistent, but they are trying to do something. They probably have a database put together. Their closing referrals equal to 5% of their list size, okay, in 1 year, in an annual year. Excuse me. So if you have 100 people on your list, these folks are getting 5 closings at the end of the year. They may be coming from repeat, they may be coming from referral, but the typical total is around 5%. All right, keep that number in mind. Now, I've also been talking to some agents that are at the top end of this spectrum that are really, really good at repeat and referrals. These are the best of the best agents. And their annual referral programs, they're spot on. They stay on them. They have it all planned out the year before. They're phenomenal. They're getting as high as 20%. Keep that in mind. 20% of their list is ending up in a closing repeat or referral. So again, out of a list of 100, we're talking about 20 closings a year. These are the best of the best. In fact, I just talked to a lady a few months ago. She was closing at 21% of her list, and it was significant. She had a list, I think it was just over I can't remember the exact number, 250, 260, somewhere around there. And she closed 54, if I remember. It was either 54 or 56, but I think it was 54 closings the prior year that were just from referral off of that list. So that put her at the 21%. I don't know if the math worked out, but I did the math before. It's 21%. All right. So number 3, the next group is agents that kind of fall in the middle, right? You're not the best of the best. You're not down there just kind of getting started or working it out or trying. It's somebody who's focused on it and they're in the middle. And that typically rolls around 10% of the list. So 10% of the list is resulting in a closing. If you got a list of 100, you're getting 10 closings a year in repeat and referral. In fact, I just talked to a guy about a month ago or so. This fella had just started full-time in real estate. He did it part-time for a couple of years, then went full-time in real estate. And that year, he got around 13% of his list that resulted in repeat and referrals. So this is kind of a good rule of thumb for you. All right. This is where I think the opportunity to double lies. Most agents who have a referral program, they're in that first category, right? They're basic or sporadic in their annual referral program. Their referrals are often equaling about 5% of their list in 1 year. And again, so if you have a list of 100 and it's about 5 closings a year, here's how you can double your referrals, right? You work on and improve your PCSOI annual marketing program. And we're going to go through all kinds of ideas in this mastermind on how to do that. And you're going to go from 5% to 10%. If you can go from 5% of your list to 10%, if you just go from just getting it in the basics to just being kind of average, but it was strong average, by the way, then you're at 10%. That's doubling your number of referral closings on your list that are going to result in repeat and referral. I talked to an agent who has a massive list, and he does a pretty good job, but he's actually sitting around that 4 or 5%. And I love that because he's got all this blue sky to go up to and raise up to 10%, 15%, 20% of his list, where he can double or triple his business, even quadruple it if he really got focused on this and used some of the ideas and techniques that we'll be sharing. So if you're not at that 20%, that's good. That means you got a lot of blue sky to go. And if you are at that 20% for some reason, that's good too. Obviously, you're really knocking it out of the park, but you can grow as well by expanding your list. And we'll talk about that in another session. Here's the big question. What is your PPP? What is your PPP? You're probably saying, Mike, I give up. Well, I don't know what PPP is. Good. Here, let's figure out what that is. PPP equals PCSOI productivity percentage. Your PCSOI productivity percentage is your PPP. So it's the percentage of your list that turns into repeat or referral closings annually. Okay. So let's find out what yours is. Let's figure this out. Again, so we know what we're talking about. PC are your past clients. These people that have closed homes with you in the past. SOI is your sphere of influence. These are your friends, family, acquaintances. Now, these are people, by the way, I want to be very clear here. That's why I'm stepping back. These are people who you know, they know you, and if you saw each other in the grocery store, you'd recognize each other and could strike up a conversation. Okay, that's who we're talking about. You have a relationship going. We're not talking about internet leads or things that just came in from ads, or I don't know where they came from. I talk to agents and they say, I have a list of 10,000 people or 5,000 or 50,000, whatever. And it's just a list that they put into their system somehow, either dripped in or they just bought a list. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people you have a relationship with. Again, you'd recognize them, they'd recognize you, and you could strike up a conversation. That's who your SOI is. Okay, so again, let's keep going on this formula for your PPP. Let's figure it out right now. I want you to take out a piece of paper and write this down. It'll be really easy and really quick. Number one, how many people are on your PCSOI? Right? How many people are your past clients and sphere of influence? I want you to write that down. If you know the number, awesome. You have it in the database then. If you don't know the number, that's fine. Just estimate. Just estimate what you think it is. Do you think it's 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 250, 300? There you go. Most people know 150 to 250 people, somewhere in there. Some of the real top performers are getting up to 300 to 400. But after that point, you really start to lose the ability to recognize them in the grocery store, right? So I'm really talking about your tight list. All right, write that number down. That's part one. Part two is how many repeat and referral closings did you have, R&R closings, repeat and referral closings did you have last year? Write that number down. All right. And if you know what that number is, awesome. That means you're tracking your source of business. Congratulations. You're doing excellent. If you don't know what it is, just try to estimate what it is, right? Take out the total number of closings you had last year, and you know basically what percentage of them actually were repeat and referral. You probably know 80, 90% probably, but whatever it is, and get that number, write it down. So now you got two numbers. Again, that's how many people are in your PCSOI and how many closings you have. Now we're going to divide. Right, we're going to divide the number of closings by the PCSOI. So if you, and here's the formula, the repeat and referral closings divided by PCSOI equals your PPP, your PCSOI productivity percentage. So if you had 12 closings last year and you have a list of 240 people in your PCSOI, you have a 5% PPP, right? Make sense? Cool. So the real question, though, that's more important than any of that is what is your PPP? What is your PPP? So what I want you to do is I want you to calculate this out, and then I want you to type it into the comment section, that chat comment section, so that we know that you did it, right? Because this is a very valuable number for you. It's where you can track where you're at now, and then you can see where you are, say, in a year from now and see if you were able to improve it. So go ahead and figure that number out. And here's the exciting news. If you were at or below 10%, you have the opportunity to double your list just with the same size list, but focusing on a better program that's more efficient. You should be able to double that up. So if you're at 7%, you should be able to go 14. If you're at 3%, you should be able to go to 6. If you're at 9, you can go to 18. If you're at 6, you can go to 12. You get the idea. You could double your list. So go ahead and write in to the chat again, what your PPP number is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can go over there and check and see if we have any answers yet and see if anybody's written in their PPP. I don't see anybody writing their PPP in yet. Well, that's okay. Maybe I had a tech problem last week and hopefully that's the reason. But go ahead, if you've got it, you can hear it, go ahead and write that in, your PPP, over there in the chat area, and we'll read them off. No, I don't see anybody writing in there. So we're going to go ahead and jump back in. I'm going to assume that you were in that section. I'm sorry, let me get this open back up for you. Here we go. I'm going to assume that you were in that group that is somewhere at or below 10%. That's the majority of the people that we talk to. Again, I do talk to people that are above that, but we'll assume you're down there, which means you've got all this blue sky and ability to jump up and double your referrals. So I'm pretty excited for you. All right, so what is the upside of this conversation? The upside of the conversation is if you could just improve your referral system, and again, you want to create a system, not just a haphazard thing, but something that happens without you. It's going on behind the scenes to make sure everything happens correctly. If you can create a referral system, you're going to be able to double this business. And the best way to do this is to model the top agents and what the top agents are already doing. Because if you do what the top agents are doing, then you're going to get what they get, right? Okay, so to double your closings with the same number of people and the same size list, you just focus on improving your efficiency in your PPP. Okay, so this is why I created the Referral Mastermind group. It's a group for us to share our best referral ideas, to get in there and stimulate other people's ideas. And they're already happening in the mastermind. I'm so happy with it. We've only been doing it for a week and it's already taken off. Anyone can join and share the best practices and brainstorm and help each other grow. If you want to join the mastermind, if you haven't done it yet, just go to referralmastermindcall.com, referralmastermind.com, and sign up for free. And by the way, if you're there, there's two things you're actually signing up for. One is to get into the mastermind so you can talk to everybody and you can see the next session that pops up. Two, you're going to be notified when the next mastermind call happens so you can make sure that you join us and participate in our mastermind. All right, so now we're going to move to the Q&A. the comment and the brainstorming area of this call. And this is my favorite part. I hope we've got a lot of folks here and the tech is actually working. But assuming it is, we're going to go into this. And if you have questions, please type them into the comment section, your chat box. And again, if you have questions, you have comments, you have ideas that you would like to share, go ahead and drop them in there. Let's start to mastermind. Let's share some ideas. And I do want to hear your thoughts. I value your opinion. I know we have some amazing people in this group, by the way. This mastermind is full of so many amazing people with a ton of experience and knowledge base. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts. So can you see how this strategy can help you double your referral closings? Okay, the strategy that we just talked about. Tell me if you think it's true, or tell me if you think I'm full of it and it doesn't make any sense and it will never work. Let me know what you think. I'm happy to hear and talk about it. So type in your thoughts into the chat or comment section. And again, now let's open it up. It could be on any referral question that you have, any referral issue, either something mentioned today or a referral concept you'd like us to talk about. Go ahead and type that into the Q&A, that chat box, that comment section. And while I'm waiting for folks to fill that out, I just want to show what's really happening in this mastermind. It's so cool. We just started it up a week ago, and it's already phenomenal. Let me show you a quick comment, and I'm getting a whole bunch of these, but let me show you a quick comment from Krista Johnson. She said, hey, I'm in Sacramento, East Bay area, managing broker, active agent. My favorite referral idea is hosting a holiday cookie party. It's great fun and good time to connect with people. What a great idea, a cookie party. I hadn't heard of the idea of a cookie party. There are a lot of events and party ideas. I hadn't heard of a cookie. So I commented back to her and said, hey, welcome to the mastermind. It's a great idea. A cookie party sounds like fun. Do you farm out the cookie making? Are you bringing them in from somewhere else? Or do participants bake and bring their own cookies, right? And she commented back and said, Mike, everyone brings their own cookie and a copy of the recipe. What a great idea. And you can hand out the recipes to folks and share. I host a cookie decorating table. There's a chocolate fountain and treat boxes for takeaway goodies. Most of the little kids eat their decorative cookies during the event. I'm sure they do. I know I would. It's a lot of fun. And I said, hey, that sounds awesome. That's a great idea. Thank you for sharing. There's stuff like this happening all the time in the mastermind. I want you to be part of that. So be sure to go over to the referralmastermindcall.com and join us. Now, oops, I think I hit the wrong button. Let's go back up to, there we go. This Q&A, the brainstorming. Again, go ahead and write your ideas down, your questions, comments, thoughts, and Q&A. And let's go over there and see if we've got any comments yet. And I don't see any comments yet. So I'm pretty sure I'm not all by myself. I'm sure you're out there, but for some reason, they're not popping up in my comment box. And I'm really sad about that. But we'll work out all these kinks as we work through this mastermind. I'll wait a few more minutes to see if for some reason I'm hitting the wrong button. I'm going to try a couple things here and see if it pops up somewhere else. Let me see if I can find discussions. No, I'm not seeing anything popping up. Well, hopefully you're actually seeing this presentation. That'd be good. That'd be beneficial. And if not, well, we'll try again. But anyway, I'm going to assume that went okay. We just, for some reason, weren't getting the comments. We'll try to iron that out by our next call. So again, I hope this was helpful. I hope this idea was really good. I really like the idea of the cookie party. I hope you take that idea and run with it. What a great idea. It's got to be an inexpensive party and a lot of fun. Everybody bringing their own cookie. We should talk to Krista more about this. Are they bringing a dozen, 2 dozen? What are they doing? But cookies are so simple and easy. I'm sure they bring a whole bunch and they share them with the rest of the group. And just what an awesome idea. All right, so let's start to wrap this up. It was a lot of fun today. I hope that you'll join us for the next mastermind call. We're going to do this next Friday, same time, same place. Hopefully we'll have the kinks worked out on the comment and chat box. But we're going to go over another concept. One way or the other, we're going to get a free concept that you can share for doubling your referral closings. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one about setting up or improving your referral program, I'm happy to do that. You can schedule a free Zoom call with me at freemastermindcall.com. Just go to freemastermindcall.com. And if you write that down, that's where you go. And again, you and I can get on a Zoom call just privately, one-on-one, and chat to see if we can improve your system. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed the mastermind call, and I hope you keep moving forward. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being here. And again, I hope this has been helpful. Bye now.